Hi, welcome back to my channel. Hopefully the audio is a little bit better. I keep making the same mistake over and over again when describing this system. Right now, uh, Time Bomb, if you haven't checked the previous video, is basically a set of nodes that disappear after uh, a while. And in my case, it's in 6 months. That's usually the time when I get sent to a psych ward yet again. So, what is this topic about? In the original video, I explained all these categories. This mode links, basically, this is where you see yourself uh, as a holistic set of how fucked up your whole system is, how well the whole system is. And as you can see in the graph, it's not, it's a lot of this is not connected. So those that are connected, they have different uh, meaning. Uh, for example, hope, mastering stochastic. Stochastic was a security system. In the past, I did it in variations, but I lost all my files, all my index cards, all my notes. So what happened, sir? Was I able to collect it? I didn't. So right down right here, you have to consider, do you still want to still learn how to collect notes. And as I said, it will be pointless. I have a lot of videos based on notes, and it's hope. It can be wrong, it can be right, but it's hope. So when you try to encompass hope, you have to sort of collect all your hopes first, one basket, until you no longer have any doubts that what you're doing, what you're viewing, what you're collecting is what's really important. For example, manage to view the linking your thinking conference replay, and it's a lot of videos and a lot of theories. And yet, I'm not satisfied because they're all saying something of a comfortable situation where they can just add content, and they're basically content creators. It doesn't work in life. I mean, if you know, for example, how to create a video on YouTube, or if you already watch a tutorial, then there's no problem. But for 6 months duration, you have to ask yourself, is this time well spent? Can you create first? Yes. Because my notes can be better organized, or you create motivated by reality, chasing the shiny object, which is basically once you ask that, what do you have left, except to answer that question in a way that builds and builds. Like, you can't answer that question immediately. So let's proceed. Okay, I'm now filling this subject, this whole massing stochastic link with stuff that I downloaded off Yoder. And for example, dynamic trap being a writer and don't have time, space to do so. I have this YouTube video of writers from idea, well, and it's 30 minutes. I have time for 30 minutes though. When I'm importing all these files, definitely it's not possible. And the more I have to think of this as on the spot recording, because I don't have a set plan for this video. It's random. I have to think of way to import this and then come out with energy to actually view the files. You know what I'm saying? And that's tough. That's tough because I have a lot of downloaded videos, books to read. It's not gonna be possible for me to just enter all this data. So how do you ask yourself? You can't do it in the checkbox because let's say I watch this for 30 minutes and I check it off. What will happen then? Nothing. I don't have any link to myself, my center, and what I watch. Strange as that may sound, this is why you have road links, because you have to have a backlink of sorts, but it's not on Obsidian. It's a backlink to yourself. If you chase this identity trap, you'll be a better writer, sure, but what then? What's the output? You know, if you don't write now, if you don't actually write now, in 6 months, all your data, all your novels, all your nonfiction books disappear. And that's how I lost a book I'm writing. It was saved as a Scrivener file and lost. It disappeared, basically just like that. And then people I'm around with doesn't care. So why be a writer? Remember, miles. That's why looking at it from this point of view, I have to cancel. So viewing features on lighting. It's that simple. Simple wording. Simple wording. I don't have the knowledge of how to see publisher books that have little niche like how to survive this type. And so I have to delete now my files reluctantly because I can. So that's an example of how to organize these things. It's a thought pattern that links slowly to your identity. If you make the mistake of spending 30 minutes in there for learning how to be a writer, then you will be wasting your potential. Even though as a writer, there's a chance that I could, even though it was a writer that once there managed against president to enact law creating the FDA from the jungle. So here it's a conflicting it's a conflict of interest, but the thoughts flow. You're not writing links, you're not writing notes, you're not answering simple questions. In this one single hope, we're putting it all out there. So my next video is no, let's try headings. What you write on paper. But this video is 37 minutes. On video there. 30 minutes. YouTube 10 grammar lessons in 2020. And again, question the origin why we need to learn about paper planets. I I learned a long time ago that a long time ago that most systems were separated height. I am not sure. I'm, I'm not sure if I can learn anything from this systems that an Obsidian can do. Transport files instead on hold. So there you have it. In this particular video, it's something that I uh, want to learn, I want to see. It's definitely tempting that it's 30 minutes of a paper planner system, but I just don't see much point of investing time on this, and then there's no priority. That's the simple answer to this question. So with this, I send this system to my Notion. Then I delete the file. Then here's the tough part. I use Obsidian for this system, but my clipper, my organizer isn't limited to Obsidian. I use Habitica and I use Notion. Each with their different usage. It adds friction, or rather it adds delays to my input, but at least I can safely say that when all things become convoluted, I can return to something that's more traditional, something that's easier to master. But then again, I'm not saying this system doesn't work by itself. It's just that I don't want to learn new settings, new setups, because it takes time. It takes it eats up at yourself to learn something, knowing that everything is inevitably temporary. Even if I am in the learning stage, what I number one, what I put into my system is not as important as what I put on this system. Now I'm to remove files rather than consume them in a linear manner. So This is why this next entry is tough, because it says my second brain in motion full setup. My second brain in motion full setup. This is something that when I want to learn motion, that's a drop. On the other hand, I discovered that Notion is such a free form tool that I don't need to watch all this Notion stuff to learn it. So I don't know if I should put it in upgraded by reality. Is it a curse? Is it hope? Is it throb? One thing's for sure, Notion is not a pain. But once I'm dealing with this kinds of setup, it becomes difficult. Where do I put it? Do I watch it? And question is it pain despite not being pain? Is it monstrous pain? What only where Notion belongs in my PKM. So on one hand, it sounds like uh, 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 unrelated moodling, because it's definitely not pain. It's curse, it's upgraded by reality, it's drop. It has no real category. Drop, like, learn, or about motion setups. Curse, motion isn't my PKM. Or maybe like a software or saving upgraded by reality. Motion isn't motion and a second brain. Save me. So now we have sort of, I guess it's called a map of concepts. But in this particular map, that's why it's in, it has an exclamation mark. It's because it's a conflict of interest. Region order files. My second brain in motion was set up by Elizabeth Phillips. Bottleneck. For 10 minutes. So now, this is my first weakness in the system. It doesn't handle distractions that well. It basically compartmentalizes each distraction, each small videos with a heading or a subheading, and it's unknown what I do with that bottleneck. It's It can only be served by food and about theory constraints by Eliyahu for that. And by Sam and children constraint first. So now we have a wider array of things that would help. Let me search for a theory of constraint first. Hmm. Main theory of constraint. Book already read. So we come up into this thought process where my learning of notion is made on hold because it's a bottleneck. Now I learned about. I learned about where my route is, where my destination is. Next on my visual file, unknowns. First, unknown feature. Jordan, intro of compare an idea by using idea compass. But do well research. Viewing. Yes, I do. So this becomes priority fast. Notice I don't uh, notice how I don't don't organize by priorities of first, second, or third. There's no priority link to importance, but priority linked to time. Uh, like this, if I have time, then I can possibly, uh, let's say, procrastinate. Let's see, which is based on, I forgot where it's based on. It's by the Hacker News, Paul Graham, I think, who has made an article of what procrastination C is, what procrastination A is, and B is. So if I have time, that's one video that I can really read. Now a lot of this is, you can see it's building up and building up, but it's losing context at the same time. If you look at this right now, you will see how can I say it? You would see a guy that's not exercising, that's not learning from a book, that is undecided by a lot of things. So where do you start when you're overwhelmed by this data? Trick here is start with energy levels. If you have the energy levels of low, medium, you can create something like this. There's energy level at 45%, 103, 45. Energy level 45%. At level 3. It's not as perfect as I want to, but basically means I have 3 hours to work on. 1:04 a.m. November 3, 2022. First, what I'm working on is not conducive to my salvation, but recording for future generations. So this is I think I'll put this in this part, this energy level. And then I'll put motion redux builder I use maps of context, maps of content, blocks. Buy from Sergio. Buy from Sergio. Obsidian. Sorry. And I'll put them priority Priority plus 15 minutes. Obsidian ignorance is about. And then I have other record notes. Shoulder. Other record techniques using that using subtle custom method by Martin Adams. And now I probably should stop here because it's already too long, but I thought this kind of information, this kind of filling up is both motivation for me to work on explaining these concepts further, but it's also for me to see the flaw in my reasoning if it's out there, rather than keeping it shut, because this system, I think, can work for many people if they can just see this whole thing instead of what's in front of them, what notes, what other things. I want this video to be more about filling up Obsidian with my notes so you can see the process, the introspective layer to what happens when you have moodlings, because now you're asking questions, you're figuring out what's on hold, what's not on hold, what you have to first view, what you don't have to first view, why every file, every action is basically a, what can I say, it's fleeting. There's no literature note, there's no permanent note. It's all fleeting notes. But in these fleeting notes, you get to learn what is it that you truly want. Because let's face it, if you put a complete file here of links, of images, of embeds, at the end of the day, this is just you. At the end of the day, you can cut down a lot of tasks, but if what you're doing is just viewing things from the perspective of, let's say, a workflow, a database, then all you're doing is simply a waste, because you're not asking yourself what is it that you can do most for your current situation, especially in a desperate situation like mine. What is it that is truly within reason your true goal? Like, if you look at it right now, all my goals are based on PMs, based on Notion, based on Obsidian, based on sleep, based on not being on Windows, based on learning Linux. It's all tech, and that's a problem. You need tech to survive and create a node, but you also don't need tech to escape. You need, like, say, control, and Raiden. In reality, you can escape hardcore ultimate guide to hardcore and rerun old Shinto like that. You need to wonder where the bottleneck lies. Out of shape body. And that's your instincts has to be that this action, for example parkour, is something that I wanted to learn for a long time. I even joined a one-time parkour, but I fell down while running. I have zero skills of executing basic pull-ups, and basic movements of parkour, and that's kind of a problem for me. But do I focus on parkour or do I want to be paid for sure? Of course, I need to. Problem. Parkour doesn't work in closed spaces. Those spaces when people are trying to adopt you. December 3, 2020. So it's a trap. It's a trap. I guess I'll it's now come to an existential crisis of files. Like what you're thinking of is working. It can work, but how do you make it work in actuality? And that's a weakness of many nodes. Many nodes. And it's necessary. As you can see, I'm sort of trapped in this note-taking identity. Yeah. Just note-taking. Zero dots. Exercise. Okay. This is the best I can do from a note-taking perspective. This is, as you can see, there's so many hopes, and all these hopes are just there. It's hope. It's not real. It's not understanding the limitations of the mind from the body. And that's where I believe goals and visions and missions are supposed to work. If you have time, if you do as a project, but if you're alone, it doesn't work because no matter how many visions you do, it's it's a trap. It's an identity trap, which is basically a trap that says you have to be this way in order to uh, escape, in order to do things, in order to do a job right. None of this is realistic, but it's fantasy, and fantasy is necessary in order to get to the root of the problem. So, with that said, I'm off completing my notes. I'm off uh, I'm off cleaning out my downloaded YouTube videos. Hopefully after this, we can work on the next video, which will be dealing with how I actually get things done in this system. Bye.